The gases that formed the solar system gradually started shrinking. Increasingly more matter gathered in the center, while temperature was constantly increasing. The sun formed from this condensed molecular cloud of dust. Due to rapid rotation, the rest of the cloud scattered and flattened into an orbiting protoplanetary disk around the sun. The dust particles in the protoplanetary disk collided and stuck together due to electrostatic attraction, forming planetesimals. When they reached a size of about 1 kilometer, they collided due to mutual gravity, forming protoplanets, which were a few thousand kilometers in diameter. This is how the Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago. Around 170 million years after the formation of the Earth, a similarly young planet, known as Theia, struck the Earth's still soft crust. Theia was demolished after the collision, and it merged with the Earth. The Earth's mass therefore increased, effectively reaching its current mass. The impact created a large ring of debris around the Earth, which later formed into the Moon. After the dissolution of the ring, the Moon became a glowing hot celestial body orbiting 25,000 kilometers above the Earth. During this period, the Moon still had volcanoes, lava flows, and its own magnetic field. The tidal phenomenon that occurs between the Earth and the Moon led to various changes. Firstly, the Moon became tidally locked with the Earth, meaning it takes the Moon just as long to rotate around its own axis as it does to revolve around the Earth. Secondly, the Moon gradually receded from the Earth, cooled down, and then became geologically inactive. Currently, the average distance of the Moon from the Earth is 384,000 kilometers. Even to this day, it is receding from the Earth, 3.8 centimeters a year. As a result, it takes the Moon increasingly more time to revolve around the Earth. However, due to tidal locking, the period it takes to rotate around its own axis is also increasing. The tidal phenomenon also affects the Earth. The Earth's rotation period is decreasing, meaning the length of the Earth's day is slowly increasing. The Earth is the only known planet in the universe where life exists. According to our current understanding, the Earth formed 4.57 billion years ago, and life appeared on its surface within 1 billion years. While the Earth revolves around the Sun once, it rotates on its axis about 365.26 times. This period is called 1 year. The orbital velocity of the Earth is 30 kilometers per second. The tilt of the Earth's axis is 23.5 degrees. As a result, within 1 year, the angle of incidence of sunlight changes at the same location, and this is the reason why seasons change. Our planet rotates, relative to the Sun, once every 24 hours. Due to the centrifugal force caused by the rotation, the planet is somewhat flattened. The Earth's only natural satellite is the Moon, which formed about 4.53 billion years ago. The Moon's gravity creates tides, which keep the axis of rotation of the Earth at an almost constant angle and slow down the planet's rotation slightly. The length of 1 day increases by 0.002 seconds every 100 years. The surface. The atmosphere of the Earth is made up mainly of nitrogen, 78%, and oxygen, 21%. Other important components are water vapor, argon, and carbon dioxide. At surface level, the average pressure is 1,013 millibars. This pressure is called 1 atmosphere. The atmosphere protects us from ultraviolet radiation and a multitude of meteors. The magnetic field of the Earth protects living organisms from cosmic radiation. As a result of the greenhouse effect, The average surface temperature is around 15 degrees Celsius. Without this effect, it would be 15 degrees below 0 Celsius. The Earth's terrain varies greatly from place to place. About 71% of the surface is covered by water. The remaining 29% is covered by land mass. The underwater part of the crust is just as diverse as the land surface, with alternating mountains, mountain chains, ditches, and plains. The surface of our planet is in constant flux due to volcanic activity, plate tectonics, and erosion. The Moon. The Moon was formed not long after the formation of the planets, as a result of the collision of the young Earth and another ancient planet of about the size of Mars. During the collision, a large amount of material was ejected from the Earth's mantle, which started to orbit the Earth, forming a disk. The material of the disk soon collected into a spherical shape due to gravity, and the Moon was formed. At that time, it was about 20 times closer to the Earth than it is today. The Moon's diameter is about 1/4 of the Earth's. It is an extremely large moon in the inner solar system. Compared to its mother planet, the Moon is the largest natural satellite in the solar system. While orbiting the Sun, while the lunar phase period from full moon until the next full moon is 29.53 days, the Moon has very important effects on the Earth. Without the Moon, many things would have happened differently. The Moon has had a significant influence on evolution as well. Tides played a role in drawing life onto dry land from water. Our natural satellite also stabilized the Earth's axial tilt, creating the conditions for the climate to stay relatively constant. The major effect of tides on the Earth is the slowing of our planet's rotation, and therefore a gradual increase in the length of the days. 400 million years ago, 1 year lasted about 400 days, and the length of one day was only 21.8 hours. The high tides caused by the Moon's gravity have an effect on the Moon as well. As a result, the Moon is slowly moving away from the Earth. Its orbit is expanding by 4 centimeters every year. Within the Apollo program, the first humans to step onto the surface of the Moon were Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin on the 21st of July, 1969. Altogether, 12 Americans have been to the Moon on 6 missions, the last one in December 1972. There has been no other lunar expedition since then due to the high cost. Currently, several